Samsung's going big for the 10th anniversary of its Galaxy smartphones. Rather than going with the usual two-phone lineup, this year we're being treated to 4 Galaxy S series devices: the Galaxy S10, the S10 Plus, the S10e, a new entry, and the S10 5G. Let's start with the S10 and S10 Plus. The two phones now share more features than ever before. For example, they both have the same exact triple camera setup. It means your purchasing decision really does come down to your size preference in a phone. Want the 6.1-inch S10? Go ahead, you won't have to worry about compromising on features. The S10 Plus has a 6.4-inch screen, and both have Quad HD Plus screen resolutions, though the S10 is slightly sharper because it has a smaller screen with a higher pixel density. The bezels have been shaved down even further to provide an impressive 93.1% screen-to-body ratio, and that's largely thanks to Samsung's Infinity O display, which is what it's calling the floating selfie camera on the top right of the phones. It's also known as a hole punch camera, as it looks like a hole punch on a piece of paper. It makes the notification bar slightly thicker, but I haven't found it to be distracting when using it with other apps. It looks better than phones with notches in my opinion, and while a true bezel-less screen would be ideal, I think the Infinity O screen looks pretty futuristic. Samsung has outfitted a new screen technology in these phones called the all-new Dynamic AMOLED display. The features include HDR10 Plus certification, which means you're getting incredibly accurate colors and crisper image quality, and the screen also natively blocks more blue light, which is handy as taking in blue light from screens at night can affect your sleep, which in turn can affect your health. The back of the phone looks bare, largely holding the triple camera setup with minimal camera bump in a horizontal fashion. Where's the fingerprint sensor? It's replaced with a new technology, an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, which is embedded under the display on the front. We've seen in-display fingerprint scanners before on phones like the OnePlus 6T, but Samsung's version is using different technology that captures 3D contours of thumb and fingerprints. Samsung said it's more secure than ever, it has a FIDO Alliance biometric component certification to prove so, and there are also anti-spoofing mechanisms in place to keep it secure. This data also never leaves the phone, so you don't need to worry about it being stored in the cloud. It's more reliable than most of the in-display fingerprint scanners we've seen to date, and it's pretty fast. You can use this scanner to authenticate payments with Samsung Pay. This is now, though, the only secure biometric authentication tool on the new S10 and S10 Plus. Gone is the iris scanner. Face Unlock is still available, but it's not secure and meant more for convenience. Otherwise, the phones don't seem too different build-wise over last year's S9 and S9 Plus. The S10 Plus is tall and may need two hands for comfortable use, but the S10 is more manageable. There's glass on both the front and back as usual, and in case you're worried about screen protectors affecting the fingerprint sensor, Samsung said protectors will need to be certified by the company to work properly with ultrasonic tech, so make sure you grab the right ones. It's also worth noting that the 512GB and 1TB versions of the Galaxy S10 Plus come exclusively in a white or black ceramic backplate, as a commemoration of the 10-year anniversary. Ceramic has better scratch resistance and durability, on top of feeling more luxurious. There's still a headphone jack on the bottom of the phone, which is nice, next to the USB-C port. The Bixby button is sadly still here, and the stereo speakers are tuned by AKG and feature Dolby Atmos support, though we haven't tested them quite yet. The S10 and S10 Plus are powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 855 processor, so you should get fantastic performance. Both have 8 gigs of RAM, but the 1TB S10 Plus model has a whopping 12 gigs of RAM. They support micro SD card slots as well if you need more space. The phones are running Android 9 Pie with Samsung's new One UI interface, where there are now darker themes and critical elements of the interface are now positioned in the bottom half of the phone for easier access. There aren't a ton of new software features, but Samsung did say you can expect faster app launch times as the phone will learn your habits and preload apps before it thinks you will use them. Over to the camera, the S10 and S10 Plus have the same two cameras as last year's S9 Plus. A standard 12-megapixel lens with an f1.5 to 2.4 variable aperture is paired with a 12-megapixel telephoto lens with an f2.4 aperture for 2x optical zoom. There's now a new 16-megapixel ultra-wide-angle f2.2 lens, which makes the camera more versatile as you can now capture more in a single photo. Scene Optimizer, which recognizes scenes to enhance photos using artificial intelligence, now supports 10 more scenes such as dogs, cats, and babies. There's also a feature in the camera app called Shot Suggestions, which can let you know when the camera is tilted so you can save yourself the hassle of straightening it later on. In terms of video recording, Samsung said the phones support super steady video capture, and they can also capture footage in HDR10+. The front hole punch camera is a 10-megapixel lens with a f1.9 aperture, and what's impressive is it can capture 4K UHD content. It's just a solo camera on the S10, but the Plus has a second 8-megapixel lens with the f2.2 aperture. This is just used for depth for better portrait mode selfies. The S10 has a 3400 mAh battery, but the S10 Plus gets a beefy 4100 mAh capacity. Sadly, the phones still only support Qualcomm's Quick Charge 2.0 fast charging technology, so it may take a while to juice it back up. Now over to the Galaxy S10e, you're getting many of the same features as the standard S10. The key differences are that it does not have an edge display, so the sides of the phone don't curve. There's a 5.8-inch screen with no in-display fingerprint scanner. Instead, there's a capacitive one indented on the right of the phone. There's only a full HD Plus resolution, the base model has 6 gigs of RAM, there's a smaller 3100 mAh battery, and you won't find the telephoto lens here, just the ultra-wide angle paired with the standard one. Finally, the Galaxy S10 5G shares almost the same qualities as the S10 Plus, but it's much bigger with a 6.7-inch screen, though Samsung said it's still around the same dimensions as the Galaxy Note 9. So when can you get one of these phones? Pre-orders on the S10, S10 Plus, and S10e start February 21st, and the phones ship March 8th. The S10e starts at $750, the S10 costs $900, and the S10 Plus will set you back $1,000. We don't know what the Galaxy S10 5G will cost, but it will arrive in the second quarter of the year as a Verizon exclusive, but will soon be available on all the other major carrier networks in the US. The S10 and S10 Plus specifically seem like the phones to buy, as they have everything and anything you'd want in a phone. But if the price is too high, the S10e is a compelling offer. There's no need to rush to buy the Galaxy S10 5G, as there won't be any kind of nationwide 5G service for quite some time.